Welcome back to Food Freedom Radio, where we plant the seeds of change. I'm Karen Olson-Johnson with Laura Headland, and joining us are Julie Ingebretsen and Anna Bloomstrand, and we are going to be talking about one of my all-time favorites in the Twin Cities, and I'm just looking at a story about the line out the door at Ingebretsen's around the holiday season. So we're talking about Ingebretsen's, the landmark on Lake Street, and everything that is Ingebretsen's and all about the holidays, and what a perfect time. So welcome to the show, Julie and Anna, and wow, I mean, I've got stories about Ingebretsen's for forever. Okay, so in the first segment, Julie, you were talking a little bit about the immigrants and the immigrants in the community, and Ingebretsen's was founded by immigrants.
That is true. That's true.
And who?
My grandfather came from Norway in the early 1900s. Learned how to be a butcher and landed in Minneapolis. Started a store on Cedar Riverside where a lot of the Scandinavian men, especially when they first came over, were. There were boarding houses and there were jobs there, so that's where they started out on the way. And then gradually moved into South Minneapolis, opened a few stores, and ours was the one that stuck. So we've been on that same corner of 16th and East Lake since 1921.
Wow. Since 1921, and that was your great-grandfather?
Grandfather.
Your grandfather. And what was his name?
Charles.
Charles, okay. So then it went to your father.
My father.
Okay.
And then, my dad took over after the war, basically. Took on a partner, Warren Dahl, in the 60s. Warren brought a lot of the recipes that we're pretty famous for now, with the Swedish sausage and the Swedish meatballs and that kind of stuff. So gradually we became more Scandinavian. It started out being just one of many, many, many neighborhood meat markets with a slight emphasis on Norwegian. But we didn't really own our Scandinavianness until the 60s, I'd say, and it's gone on from there.
Well, it has expanded because it's when you think about Scandinavia, Norway, Sweden, Denmark, I mean, there's a Finnish component to it, a Sami component to it, an Icelandic component to it. I mean, it is all of that northern part of Europe. For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
So, starting as meat markets, starting as food, but still that's a real important base of operation. But if somebody, they're unfamiliar with Ingebretsen's, which I can't imagine they would be, but they're unfamiliar with Ingebretsen's, what else do you find there, Anna?
Besides food?
Yeah, besides food.
Well, in 1974, my mom opened the gift shop part of it, so there's quite a lot of imports for your home, in terms of clothes, things to make things with. So handcraft is a big part of our store, knitting and handwork stitching and that kind of thing. We have a large kids section, so kids' clothes and kids' toys. And we also have a classroom, which we'll talk about a little bit later, but it sort of covers all the bases for kind of the Scandinavian experience.
Annie, I would like to hear your story about growing up in a family that actually owned a business, because here we've seen this invasion of chain stores. Right. And what do you think about all that?
Being on kind of the front lines. So growing up in a small store, because our store is relatively small, I've seen how important it is to, it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of work from basically the entire family at different times. So, it's a challenge, and as the big stores come in, it's I think probably the biggest disadvantage is sort of a sense of homogeny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. That is, you should do a T-shirt with that. Yeah. The biggest disadvantage is a sense of homogeny.
Right.
I mean,
in life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the things that people love about the store, and one of the reasons why I love it so much, is that they have this personal connection with the people who have worked for us for, 20, 30 years. more than that in a lot of cases. They know the people when they come into the store. They have a personal connection with it. Their families have a personal connection with coming down, especially over the holidays. And you can't recreate that in a big box format.
You can't recreate it, and the reason is because it's something that is pretty nebulous, because it's a feeling.
Yeah.
Okay? It's a feeling. It's a sense of belonging. Mm-hmm. It's a sense of comfort. It's a sense of civility, which I think is a big piece of what is bound up in the Scandinavian thought and ethic and all of that, is that you are welcome, it's comfortable, and it's civil.
It's civil, it's alive.
Yeah, it's alive. I mean, when I walk in the front, hi Karen, okay, because and I've known Karen and Sandy for forever, okay, and that's a piece of whatever, and you touched on something when you were just talking about that you have this, and you have this, and you have this. Mm-hmm. There are children's toys, there are crafting things, there's dinnerware, there are kitchen utensils, there is food, there is this. I mean, seriously, for somebody, and I'll say like myself, who absolutely abhors the whole mall and strip mall kind of, convenient, that sort of shopping, it is a one-stop shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think also, in this age of Amazon, I think there's a false value in having, quote unquote, a convenience factor, being able to get a product, say, in an hour by delivery, and that being valued over getting in your car and driving for 10 minutes to a neighbor's business and purchasing something there and then coming home and it taking 40 minutes.
Yeah, I want to find a way of saying this but I am so tired of dominant systems. And, I've in all the icky stuff that's going on, people are often saying, well, I didn't like that because they're all oglarkies. If you're buying from an oglarky, you are participating in an oglarky. If you are buying from a small community store, you are participating in community. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
which is a big piece of it.
Yeah.
Plus the fact, quite frankly, it just tastes better. That's me. That's just me. It just tastes better. I'm the daughter of a butcher, meat cutter, okay? And we grew up making sweet sausage and making these things and all of that. And, there is, when you've got something that is handcrafted, something where there's time and attention, placed upon it, and you have the opportunity to experience that in community, then, it's just all the better. All right, we want to make your mouth salivate. What kind of food can we find there, Julie?
The food is certainly based on the meat products. We've made our own Swedish sausage for a long, long time, and other kinds of sausages. There's a medisterpølse that I personally like. It's a Norwegian version of the Swedish sausage.
Say that again.
Medisterpølse.
Medisterpølse. Oh, I love those. I love the names. Well, we're going to continue talking about medisterpølse.
And we're going to answer the age-old question, what exactly does ufta mean?
You're listening to Food Freedom Radio, and we're talking all things Ingebretsens today. So if you have questions, 952-946-6205. And what are your Scandinavian holidays going to look like this year?
Are you an alternative or complementary health practitioner? Would you like to expand your medical or dental practice to new patients? The January 2017 issue of Natural Awakenings magazine is the perfect way for health professionals to reach new customers with its focus on health and wellness. Hurry, because the deadline is December 15th. Call 763-270-8604 today. Reach new clients with Natural Awakenings magazine. Call 763-270-8604. Online at natwincities.com.
It's time to experience the amazing flavors of EatLocalMinnesota.com. It's your key to unlocking the best local and independently owned restaurants in the Twin Cities. See how EatLocalMinnesota.com can point you to that perfect one-of-a-kind spot. Cafe Latte offers made-from-scratch soups, salads, sandwiches, and mouth-watering desserts. Stop in the wine bar and enjoy a unique pizza loaded with fresh vegetables and perfectly roasted meats. Over 30 wines by the glass, Cafe Latte highlights highlights Washington State wines and is the perfect destination for date night or an evening with friends. 850 Grand Avenue, St. Paul. At Victor's 1959 Cafe, you'll get an authentic taste of Cuban culture right here in South Minneapolis. Their festive and friendly environment is a great place to enjoy all that traditional Cuban cuisine has to offer, plus great champagne mojitos. Breakfast and lunch served daily, and dinner served every Tuesday through Saturday. Victor's, 38th and Grand in South Minneapolis.
The Neil Larsen Financial Hour airs every weekend, bringing you the latest updates in retirement financial issues. Hi, this is Neil Larsen. I have more than 40 years' experience, and each week I offer informed financial tips and strategies to ensure you make safe investments. For more personalized advice to maintain a stable income after retirement, contact me at 952-303-3232.
The Neil Larsen Financial Hour, Saturdays at noon with a replay Sundays at 7 a.m., only on AM950.
Here's why companies, clubs, and organizations just like yours book Freddie Bell for keynote presentations.
I've been able to find my way through trying circumstances, and with each seemingly devastating situation, I've come back stronger and better. Why? Because of the techniques that embody courage, enthusiasm, and staying focused on the goal, that dream and that desire. What's your dream? What's holding you back?
If you've been struggling to get to the top, if you're searching for unprecedented breakthroughs, if you're looking for the light when the way seems dark, book Freddie Bell today.
The way to a successful life is using proven techniques that move you, that help you, and sustain you. It's time to get fired up. It's time to move up and to show up.
Freddie provides the keys in your keynote address. Call Freddie Bell now. 888-639-9738. That's 888-639-9738. Or visit FreddieBell.com right now to book your engagement.
With your AM950 weather, I'm Brett Johnson. Look for sunny skies today with a high near 54. Tonight, clear with a low around 40. Sunday, sunny with a high around 60. And Monday, mostly sunny with a high near 54. Reserve your Thanksgiving turkey today with Ferndale Market. John Peterson is the third generation of his family to grow free-range turkeys. You can visit their on-farm market in scenic Cannon Falls for their full line of turkey products and all the best in local foods. To learn more about reserving your Thanksgiving turkey at Ferndale Market, visit FerndaleMarketOnline.com.
So welcome back to Food Freedom Radio, where we plant the seeds of change. I'm Laura Hedlund with Karen Olson-Johnson, and in studio with us is Ingebretsen's. And Ingebretsen's, you have the meat market, you have the gift store, but you also have classes. So you're a community meeting spot in business for 95 years. Mm-hmm. So talk a little bit about the classes and the other community events.
Sure, yeah. It's really important to us to kind of expose people to what Scandinavian culture is and help them learn about their roots, if they have them, or
lost them.
Or lost them, yes, indeed.
Or never had them at all.
Or never, yeah.
And part of that expansion of roots is you putting down roots in Norway House. And it's a beautiful, if you haven't seen it, I mean, you just can't really miss it. It's a beautiful blue building, but where is Norway House in relationship to you, and what is Norway House?
Well, Norway House the blue building is on Franklin, East Franklin, between Elliott and 10th. So near Chicago and Franklin. Norway House is an organization that has been trying for years to make a place for Norwegian Americans to gather. And so they bought this building a couple of years ago, renovated it, and are doing all kinds of programming from it. They have an art gallery in there that has its revolving, interesting shows. And so we rent a space in there, basically, and we run a very small gift shop over there. But we also have this new coffee shop that's been there for about a year and a half now. And the focus of the coffee shop, we're still learning how to do it, but it's the focus obviously is on Norwegian food. A lot of baked stuff. We have waffles, fresh waffles, which are fabulous, and that's kind of our thing now. Fresh waffles made on the spot with different kinds of fillings they're just phenomenal.
I bet you could get lingonberries, wouldn't you?
Yes, you can get lingonberries.
I bet I could get my very fussy kid to go and eat that.
I bet you could.
And are Norwegian waffles thin, isn't it?
They're very thin.
Yeah.
They're little heart-shaped things, and they're really tasty.
Yeah, and that goes to this whole notion of refinement, okay, and civility. It's not this big wielding, 2-inch thick kind of waffle. Right? It's a nice little heart-shaped waffle, freshly made, beautifully presented with whatever you want. So lingonberries, what else?
They have, my favorite is the Savory Waffles. There are a few different savory options that they do every once in a while, a ham and cheese one, which is...
There's one with salmon.
Yeah, salmon.
Pesto.
So
There's some really
good.
Interesting combinations.
Pesto waffles.
Yeah, they're delicious.
Wow.
So heading down to Norway House, just a little ways past Ingebretsen's for a fresh waffle and some coffee, and then heading back to Ingebretsen's to, top it off with whatever holiday shopping you need to do or get your Swedish meatball mix. Do you know that you can put sweet sausage on the grill? You can do it, okay?
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, my husband did that. It's because, it's not, for us, it's not, in our house, it's not just a holiday food, it's a year-round food. And so, we just blanched it a little bit and threw it on the grill. Boy, was it good. Okay.
I hardly wait to try that. I'm so excited about
Tell
it.
Gary. Okay. Yeah, tell Gary. Okay, so if you're looking for more information, obviously Ingebretsen's has a website, ingebretsens.com, but then also a Facebook page, which is Ingebretsen's Nordic Marketplace. And there's lots of really interesting things on your Facebook page. And I would imagine you'll post this interview as well. Do you guys have favorite things in the store? What's the must-have that's in the store or in the meat market?
It's a tough, it's like a Sophie's choice.
Oh, no.
Well, let's think about our family Christmas Eve dinner is torsk, which is fresh cod, not lutefisked, just baked cod with butter, of course, which is amazing. And we always have Swedish meatballs with gravy. Also, kind of the Norwegian surf and turf idea. With potatoes, of course, and peas for color.
Yeah. So the whole plate is not a shade of tan, right?
Exactly, and lingonberries for even more color.
Yeah, and lingonberries. Lingonberries for me has always been like the Norwegian version of cranberries.
Oh, yeah.
So much more tasty. Thank you, sorry, but they are.
And good for you.
And good for you, too.
Absolutely.
Antioxidants, right?
Very, very high.
How about you, Anna?
Well, she covered the holiday portion for sure. I think one of the things that's my favorite in terms of food is we have a smokehouse in the building, or outside of the building, and we do a lot of home smoked meats. So we do bacon, ham, fish. We have a smoked whitefish, a smoked salmon, all of which are really amazing. And that's kind of my go-to in the non-holiday season is all of those smoked pieces. I love that smoked whitefish. You can get a whole, make salad out of it, all kinds of things. It's
we use it, last time I was there, I got a whole one, and it rivals the same kind of, like when you go up on the North Shore to get smoked whitefish, same kind of flavor. We use it in scrambled eggs.
Oh, that's such a good idea.
Oh, another one. Okay.
I know.
And it's fresh. Yeah, it's fresh.
It's
smoked
delicious.
fish.
So you've been kind of noticing the local food movement. I'd like to get your lens on history. What are you guys observing?
Wow. Well, for me, one of the things that's the most exciting is all of these cross-cultural pieces in terms of traditional foods. So, and Scandinavia is right now, popular hotbed for people who are trying different things. So there are famous chefs like Marcus Samuelsson, for example, who does a lot of cross Scandinavian food. He's a East African who was adopted into Scandinavia and now lives in New York. And so there's a whole lot of things happening there. Scandinavia is a very multicultural environment now, too, so there's just a lot of influences back and forth. So one of the things...
You don't want to go back to being great or anything, do you?
I think this is pretty great. That's one of the things that's the most exciting for us about living or being in the environment that we are in right now is that we have Central American and South American influences, we have African influences, we have all kinds of things coming from all different kinds of places, and there's so many things that are complementary to each other.
And Lake Street is a place where that's happening.
Exactly.
Right. And so, Julie, you really wanted to talk about also having a commercial corridor and the importance of that.
One thing that we've noticed in the last few years is customers coming in and thanking us for staying, which I think is really wonderful. And I think it's an acknowledgement that people are really becoming more conscious of the importance of streets like Lake Street, Central, Broadway, those the old commercial corridors of Minneapolis, that Minneapolis can't be a great city without those streets being great. And acknowledging that places like us, and there's many, many more of them, being dedicated to staying there and being the anchors is really important to the whole community. And I do also want to talk about how important the global market, which is just down the street from us, just like 6 blocks to the west, is in that whole picture. Kind of rescued the corner of Chicago and Lake from being this big black hole after Sears left, and has become a super vibrant and really exciting place to be. And again, if anybody doesn't know what the global market is, I don't even know how many businesses are in there, but mostly food. And every kind of culture you can imagine, small businesses, many kind of in an incubator sort of phase. Some of them start there and kind of branch out into bigger ones.
So for someone who this might be new for, so it's just you take a 55 and Lake Street basically is where the Midtown Global Market is, and then you guys are just 8 blocks east of that, correct? Is that about
6?
About 6.
Yeah. And Midtown has, I'm going to encourage people to go there too, and families. Take a Saturday field trip, go down to Midtown, and, just because it's family friendly, it's wonderful. And the vibrancy of being able to try a food from here and try a food from there and be a part of the mix, be a part of the community that is right there, and then experience a part of Lake Street like Ingebretsen's that has been there for 95 plus years.
Especially in these times where people are so divided, to get down there, and Midtown Global Market also has a wonderful little play space for kids, and so just to get down there and experience that, have lunch, stop by, it's a beautiful day.
Yeah, a friend of mine who has a business in the Global Market said recently that the 9th Ward, which is our neighborhood, is the world, and it's really representational of so many different parts of the world that it's really an exciting place to be right now, and we're really lucky to have a space in it.
Well, I'm going to make a plug for November 19th, which is a week from today. The Green Gifts Fair will be down at the Midtown Global Market, and I will be there later in the afternoon at the Northern Sun table talking about the Wonder Bag.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes,
Awesome. Very good.
Sarah Collins, who was here a few weeks ago, this is this incredible invention, non-electric heat retention cooking that is being manufactured in South Africa, and 1 million of them have been manufactured and are all around the world, and they are just this most incredible solution to not only climate change, but women and children and gender equity, and I mean, just the list goes on and on. So, and I am going to stop somewhere else on the street. So, okay, so we've, Ingebretsen's is one of those, has stuck to it, it's an ethic, it's an approach to life, and it really is a piece of Minneapolis history and the immigrant history that has populated Minneapolis for so long. And for you to stay there in that neighborhood hasn't always been easy, has it, Julie?
That's true. Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's a great neighborhood, and it's sometimes a challenging neighborhood. That is certainly true. So the challenges come and go, I'd say, and they're never horrible. Certainly, they've never been horrible enough for us to even think about leaving. And they tend to generate a community response that is really encouraging. The businesses get together, the residents get together, and we figure it out. And it happens. It's really a cool thing to watch.
Amen to that. You
Yeah.
get together and you figure it out.
Yep.
Yeah,
Right?
that sounds great.
Is that our collective response to what's happened this last week?
I hope so.
We get together and we figure it out? Wow.
offering space for that, right?
Yeah.
And that's what you guys have done for 95 years. So we'll have one more segment after this, and we're going to go to break in just the last minute. But again, just give us a flavor of Ingebretsen's, Anna. You grew up in this business, so...
I think there's just an intangible sense of home there for not just us, but a lot of people who have been part of our business for their entire lives, their family's entire existence here in the Twin Cities, and also people who have just recently come upon us. So,
and it may sound a little counterintuitive, but one of the best times around the holidays is standing in the line outside the store. Okay? Especially when it's like 0 degrees and the wind is blowing. I'm serious. It's a good time.
It's a good place. I actually wrote that down. The intangible sense of home. Wow. Can we just get an exhale on that? The intangible sense of home. And this time, I am just glad to be from this area.
Yeah.
Huh?
Oh, yeah. So join us after the break.
Enjoy a delicious home-cooked breakfast or lunch away from the kitchen at Milda's Cafe, now open 7 days a week. Milda's Cafe has been cooking up family favorites since 1964. Grab a coffee and sit down for a delicious Philly scramble, house-made rolls, or Denver omelet. Stop in for lunch where you'll find authentic Finnish pasties every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Open weekdays 6 to 3, weekends 8 to 2. Milda's Cafe on Glenwood Avenue, 4 blocks east of Penn.
Seward Co-op, serving the community for nearly 45 years, invites you to shop their 2 convenient locations, both offering the strong commitment to local producers and healthy foods you've come to expect. Seward focuses on locally grown and raised products, fair trade, and environmental sustainability. Shop their selection of meats, artisan cheeses, and house-made baked goods. Find Seward at 2823 East Franklin Avenue or the Friendship Store on 38th Street and 3rd Avenue in Minneapolis. More at seward.coop.
Listen to A Woman's Place every weekend on AM950 to hear about progressive issues from a woman's perspective. Coming up this week, top political expert Deborah Fitzpatrick from the Humphrey Center on Women in Public Policy at the U of M will examine the horrible election results through a gender lens. Listen every week to A Woman's Place, where all issues are women's issues. Saturdays at 11 a.m. and Sundays at 2 p.m. Podcast anytime at am950radio.com.
Don't wait. Get Black Friday appliance savings now at Warner Stellian. Avoid the chaos and get the same rock-bottom prices now. Guaranteed. Save hundreds of dollars on laundry pairs, dishwashers, and kitchen packages and all the hot-selling finishes. Black Friday prices are guaranteed right now, so why wait? Get your home ready for the upcoming holidays with free local delivery, professional installation, and 18 months financing. Why wait? Get Black Friday appliance savings now from Minnesota's original appliance specialist, Warner Stellian.
I'm John Peterson of Ferndale Market, and I'm the 3rd generation to grow turkeys on our family farm in Cannon Falls. We've grown our turkeys the same way for 74 years, free range and without antibiotics. We're proud of the way our turkey tastes naturally, so we don't add a thing, just 100% pure turkey. Reserve your free range Thanksgiving turkey today for pickup at our store right on the farm or at one of our Metro retail partners. Visit us at FerndaleMarketOnline.com for more information or to reserve your turkey today. FerndaleMarketOnline.com.
Hey, it's Tom, and I'd like to clue you in on one of the jewels of the Twin Cities, Continental Diamond. It's a family business owned by a husband and wife team who have built up their business from a display case in their apartment to a beautiful showroom in St. Louis Park. They've done it by treating people right and offering the best selection of jewelry in the Twin Cities area, along with the best value. There's a reason the readers of Minnesota Bride magazine have named them the best jeweler in the Twin Cities 6 years running, Continental Diamond, in St. Louis Park and at continentaldiamond.com.
So welcome back to Food Freedom Radio, where we plant the seeds of change. I'm Laura Hedlund with Karen Olson-Johnson, and I'm going to go back to that phrase, the intangible sense of home.
Wow.
Because that's what community and AM950 and our listeners, that's what we want to create, is that intangible sense of home.
You got it.
Especially in tough times, we need our home places. And so getting out into events is one way to express that home and to create and feel that community.
Mm-hmm. And there's an important one coming up on November 15th, just around the corner, which is Stand with Standing Rock, a national day of action. And in St. Paul, that's happening at the Army Corps of Engineers office. And if you go to the Facebook page, Stand with Standing Rock - National Day of Action, you'll find out all the information about what this is and what signage would be, desired, appropriate, whatever. But it's incredibly important. Because the Army Corps of Engineers has decision-making power regarding the continuation of the Dakota Access Pipeline, that our voices are heard regarding what we want to have happen.
And I think, obviously, one of the shifts that's occurring now is Keystone Pipeline. I mean, no, we're not going to do anything with the Paris climate change. Climate change is not real. All of that is emerging. And earlier, Julie was talking about there's so many other ways that we can try to impact that. And so showing up, getting the movement, and the movement of movements.
Yeah, being in community.
Being in community.
Yeah. Quite frankly, that's going to be one of our solaces as we go forward, is being in community and understanding that that's a piece of our home as well, right?
And that we can stand with each other. And I mean, I'd encourage people to listen to the music of Pussy Rock. They were in jail for 2 years in Putin, and this is actually my number one fare. And just listen to that music. And so how we stand with each other is vital.
And December 6th.
Yes.
It's the third in the series of events. I'm the executive director of Northland Sustainable Solutions, and we've had 3 events, and December 6th is the third. The Waters of Our Connection, and it's a part of the bridge that is the circle, the circle of the bridge and all of our communities together. And
the circle that bridges community.
The circle that bridges community. Thank you. I get verklempt talking about it.
Verklempt, yeah.
Yeah, because it's so important. So Sarah Thompson, the wonderful singer, composed the song "Water is Life." And she will be there, and Tatanka Food Truck will be there. We're going to be honoring Sharon Day for her work, her Nibby Walks water work, walking along the rivers of this country. We'll be honoring Anne Bancroft for her work, Polar Explorer. It's going to be a most incredible evening, but what I want to say about it is that apart from that, and the seriousness of it, and Candy Mossett, who's with the Indigenous Environmental Network, will be Skyping with us live from Standing Rock to give us a current update of what's happening right to the minute at Standing Rock. But apart from that, it's fun. Okay, we're going to have fun too. We're going to have
because if we all get together and just be bumming each other out, I don't think I'm going to show up anymore because I'm tired of being bummed out.
No,
I mean, I've got plenty of other places to go to get bummed out.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not the place to get bummed out. The last one, October, the African dance.
The African dancers were so cool.
Okay, so this is going to be like major cool. Plus the fact, it's food, it's free giveaways, it's silent auction where you can win prizes, all that, and beer.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
And beer. And $2 beer.
How do people find out about it again?
They go to sustainablenorthland.org, sustainablenorthland.org, and you register, which is wonderful because then we know how many peeps are coming. And you bring all your friends and you have guess what? A beer, okay? Because we're at Summit, and it's $2 beer. And
there's also root beer for those who don't drink beer, so.
Oh, yeah, okay. But Well, yeah, okay, so, but it's, we got to have some fun in the middle of all of this, right? And I think Ingebretsen's is fun, okay? So can we go back to, the line outside? What were you saying? We're going to get stickers this year, Anna?
Yeah, we're going to get special stickers. Special stickers this year.
And
that look like the I voted stickers, but they say I waited.
So, what are people waiting for? And this happens only 1 week, so most of the times you guys don't have this long line.
No big long lines.
What do people wait for, and what do you have that people have been lining up for 95 years for?
Christmas dinner. That's it's a tradition in so many families that they have the things that they buy, the lutefisk, the torsk, the Swedish meatballs, the Swedish sausage, whatever it is, the lefse for sure. And for a lot of people, the wait is part of the tradition, and the camaraderie in the line is really fun to watch. if it's really cold, we try to pass out coffee to ease the pain. But,
Well,
but people just love it. It's
we
really
love
fun.
it. Or you get closer.
Yeah.
And you really learn about your neighbors in line.
Yeah.
Okay. Because that 20 minutes or whatever it is, and then you got somebody's life story, and you've exchanged phone numbers and everything. I mean, it's wonderful. The one year that before my father passed and my husband, who's from the Caribbean, was here, okay, he was like aghast. You're doing what? And I stood outside, waited in line for whatever, and he sat in the car, and I could see him, and he's like, well, aren't you done? I mean, hello, it's cold. It's cold. It's cold. But that's half of it. That's just the wonder of it. Okay, but we talk about Scandinavian and all of this, but Lake Street, the Somali community, Midtown Global Market, all of the things it's not just for that immigrant group, right? Aren't we trying to get the message here that it's like all come down and experience and let's just do it together, right, Anna?
Yep, there's something for everybody. Everyone has a home and everyone has a stomach.
And food is really a place of unity, right? Food is a place of unity.
Right.
But I also think we have to move into that next step, and that is being in unity with the food itself, right? And that's like Koch Refineries is running these, we need unity, but part of the unity is to be in unity with the food itself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and have the experience of food and sharing. And that's one of the things that I think I like in particular about the holidays is that we do sit around the table. And we do have a discussion, and it's not even ironic that this is a table.
Yeah.
And we sit around the table, and we have the discussion, and we share the food, and we share each other's lives, that's where I think the real change happens.
Yeah, I do too.
What are the hours of Ingebretsen's, by the way?
The main store on Lake Street is open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5:30, Saturday, 9 to 5. Norway House is open Sunday, 11 to 3, not Monday, and then Tuesday through Saturday, 10 to 4.
And again, Norway House is the wonderful stop for the coffee and the Norwegian waffle, which you can have sweet or savory. And Ingebretsen's the stop for all things Scandinavian food-wise, and a real wonderful array of gifts and crafts and shopping and all of that. So we're down to our last minute, you guys.
Yeah, I want to throw out a quick recipe just because I think when I said the whole thing like unity with our food, so I have been, I'm getting food still, but it's all the greens that have just grown by themselves. I'm not even planting them. So I'm just grabbing the greens, mixing them with eggs, threw in a little bread. That's what we had for breakfast. But going in that community with our food as well. Does that make sense?
Makes total sense.
Because I think when we have that, we are so disconnected from our ecological reality. And that's what's resulting in climate change. And with my plants and going into relationship with the plants, we don't talk about that. But anyhow, that's where, so next week I will not be here. I'm going to be doing a bearing witness with Clouds and Water to bear witness to the history of the land and the people here.
And next week our guest will be Michael DeGidio, the Hilo Diner, Blue Door Pub, another local businessman and restaurateur. So thank you, Anna. Thank you, Julie. And Ingebretsen's again on Lake Street.